Hi everyone, I'm Dan Abrams, and this is Court Camp. Take him back! Take him out! I hope you die in person as well. First, we take you inside the Maricopa County Superior Court.
Ladies and gentlemen, the law requires the state to prove a defendant guilty beyond a reasonable doubt.
This is the defendant, Lamont Payne. Today he's facing an assault charge for biting a correctional officer on the ankle in 2016 while serving time in the county jail. His attorney is Vladimir Gajic, appointed by the Public Defender's Office. It's the first day of jury selection, evidenced by the packed courtroom. And from the beginning, Gajic seems to be ignoring his client.
Anyone who does not think we should have the presumption of innocence. With the record again, no one has raised their hands. Also, some may think that just because a person...
My lawyer ain't gonna speak up.
Sir?
I've been giving him a question, he won't speak up.
Sir, that's because it's not his turn to ask for it. The appropriate time will happen at the appropriate time. If you continue to have outbursts, I'm gonna have to remove you from court.
Appropriate time. This, I keep telling you, he's a problem.
Deputy, please remove him.
This
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to need a second to deal with this. Step outside and we'll talk in a few minutes, okay?
If we take another look, as Payne is rounding up his belongings, Gajic is completely caught off guard. While two deputies secure Payne, a shocked Gajic deals with his injury, which thankfully is only a bloody nose.
No, he doesn't get anything.
The potential jurors are excused, and Gajic and the judge discuss what happens next.
Counsel, based upon the defendant's actions, I don't think I can continue with the trial.
Since Payne attacked his own attorney, the judge assumes Gajic will remove himself from the case. But that's not what happens.
Attorney of record, I think I'm going to have to remove him as attorney of record unless you think you can go forward.
I can go for it.
Huh?
I can go for it. And I'm not going to press any charges.
Later, Gajic did file assault charges against Payne, and although he offered to continue his services for Payne, he never got the chance. Gajic was removed from the case. As for Lamont Payne, he's serving his time in Lewis Prison in Arizona. We now take you to the Jefferson Circuit Court in Louisville, Kentucky.
And it's my right to speak what I can speak on.
This is Bryce. He's been behind bars since he was charged with the murder of one man in 2016 and teenage brothers a month later, fearing they would tell police of his involvement in the first crime. Since that time, Rhodes has been locked up awaiting trial, but moving forward has been challenging due to Rhodes' disruptive behavior in court and in jail. He's even gone so far as to threaten Judge Amber Wolf from behind a spit guard in 2016.
You can just bring him up right here. I think you know why. You know exactly why. Now, listen, stop talking. I'm going to keep talking because I don't want to have to see you back here for this. So you're saying you're going to find out where I live at? Okay. That was a threat against the court. I think that I'm asking the county attorney's office to take that into account and consider what to do with that.
After this incident, Rhodes was charged with terrorist threatening in the third degree and intimidating a participant in the legal process. 4 years later, March of 2020, he's at it again.
Even though you show favoritism to the Commonwealth, you deny every motion I've ever filed in this courtroom, I'm still gonna, it's my right to file a pro se motion, and it's my right to speak what I can speak on.
After Judge Charles Cunningham denies his motion to dismiss the murder charges, he questions the judge's motives.
Probably I got some type of sexual relationship going on, or which I got going on, but I'm definitely gonna speak my mind.
Detective Tatelli and I have no sexual relationship.
I'm talking about you, prosecutor over, sir.
All right,
You denied all my motions. Every motion I filed, you did deny it.
I'm pretty sure I've denied the vast
Every
majority of
motion
pro
I've
se
filed.
motions that have ever
Are you
been
some
filed.
type of racist? Or you got some type of sexual relationship going on? Which one is it?
Or are you just wrong in everything that you've made a motion for?
Are you a
It could be
secret
that.
Ku Klux Klan member?
No, sir, I'm
Is that what
not.
you really are? Are you a
It could be
secret
that.
Ku Klux Klan member?
His attorney has clearly seen this before.
But like I said, the higher courts, they'll deal with it when time comes.
That's exactly right.
Judge Cunningham takes it all in stride because Rhodes remains behind bars and faces life in prison if convicted of the crimes. As of this taping, Rhodes' cases are still awaiting trial. We're inside the Frank Murphy Hall of Justice in Detroit, Michigan. 25-year-old Jasmine Gordon and her 34-year-old boyfriend, Clifford Thomas, are being sentenced today for the death of Gordon's 3-year-old daughter, Jamila Smith. Tom claims she hit her head and stopped breathing, but authorities ruled her death a homicide, indicating the child died of multiple blunt force trauma injuries. Both Gordon and Thomas were found guilty of involuntary manslaughter, among other charges. Today, Gordon and Thomas appear in court together, so family members won't have to deliver impact statements twice.
She made a bad choice, a real bad choice, and to let this stranger babysit her kids because that man was a total stranger to them kids.
Sitting just off camera in the gallery is the dead child's father, Dwayne Smith. There's only a few feet and not much else between Smith and the man convicted of killing his daughter. When he's asked to deliver an impact statement, he delivers. If we take another look, you can see Smith enter the frame here and clearly punch Thomas in the head. Amidst the chaos, Gordon has an emotional moment of her own. And has to be comforted by her attorney. It takes several sheriff's deputies to finally restore order. When the hearing resumes, Judge Margaret Van Houten issues a warning.
No outbursts in the courtroom. If there are any, you'll be removed from the courtroom.
She sentences Thomas to 57 months to 15 years for involuntary manslaughter and 1 to 2 years for resisting arrest. After Thomas is taken away, a tearful Gordon makes a plea to the judge.
Please place me in jail right now after kissing my daughter for the last time. It's something I won't wish I'll say to him, though. I will not refuse it. I will try to forgive anybody, never.
The tears seem to have no impact on Judge Van Houten. She sentences Gordon to 7 to 15 years for involuntary manslaughter and another 14 to 25 years for first-degree child abuse. Contempt of court for his outburst. We're in the Frank Murphy Hall of Justice in Detroit, Michigan, for the sentencing of 25-year-old Amanda Casal.
There's a lot of things that you can do, and your life doesn't have to be over because of a poor choice. You just have to accept responsibility for it and find a way to make something positive out of a very negative situation.
Casal has been found guilty of driving under the influence, causing a head-on collision that killed 31-year-old Jerome Zerker and severely injured his fiancée, 31-year-old Brittany Johnson. The couple have 5 children together. Prior to sentencing, the court will hear a powerful impact statement from the victim's children, read by his sister, Doreen Zerker.
Amanda, look what you did to my life. You ruined everything I had, like my dad's life.
Amanda seems devastated by Doreen's words, but Judge Kiana Lillard apparently hears some snickering from Casal's family sitting in the gallery.
You can go too. Whoever can sit here at a tragic moment like this and laugh and smile when somebody has lost a family member, this a court of law. You cannot come down to the Frank Murphy Hall of Justice and act any way you want to act.
That's the defendant's mother, Donna Casal.
Because if you don't know how to act, you can go to jail. Ma'am, you are being taken into custody for criminal contempt. Your disruptive and disrespectful behavior disrupted today's proceedings, and you, ma'am, are going to the Wayne County Jail for 93 days for direct criminal contempt. Anybody else want to go? Try it.
Can't come to court acting a fool. I know people watch a lot of shows on TV where you see different things happening, but this is real.
We're back in Detroit, Michigan, and this woman, Donna Casal, has just disrupted the court during the sentencing of her daughter, Amanda, for a deadly DUI.
Ma'am, you are being taken into custody for criminal contempt. Your disruptive and disrespectful behavior disrupted today's proceedings, and you, ma'am, are going to the Wayne County Jail for 93 days for direct criminal contempt. Anybody else want to go? Try it.
As Casal is led to the county jail, Judge Lillard offers a stern reminder of that etiquette in the courtroom.
These are very serious matters, and I understand you all are upset because your loved one is going to prison, but guess what? She's going to prison for the choices that she made.
After orders restored, Amanda Casal is sentenced.
It'll be the sentence of this court that you serve 3 to 15 years in the Michigan Department of Corrections. If there's nothing further, that concludes this matter.
Casal only serves 3 years, and she spends the night in jail and appears before Judge Lillard the next morning. Donna seems to have learned a serious lesson from just one night behind bars.
Yes,
I deeply apologize for what I did. I was under a lot of stress, and I deeply apologize for what I did in your court. I just needed to get out. It's been very hard for me this year, and I know for the other family, and I'm so sorry for what I did, and I know it was wrong, and I apologize.
Things have to be conducted in decency and order.
I apologize.
You can't come to court acting a fool. I know people watch a lot of shows on TV where you see different things happening in make-believe courtrooms that give people a skewed sense of reality, but this is real life here, and we just can't have people behaving like that. It can't be tolerated. So I will modify your sentence for direct criminal contempt from 93 days to 1 day with credit for time served, and you should be released today.
God bless you. Thank you. And I apologize very sorely for the other family.
Donna serves 1 day.
Thank you.
And is released. We're inside the 36th District Court in Detroit, Michigan, for the arraignment hearing of 23-year-old Jacob Barnes, who appears via video, and 16-year-old Jeremy Lee, who's being tried as an adult.
Mr. Barnes and Mr. Lee, you are both charged with count 1, homicide, felony murder.
Barnes and Lee are accused of murdering Amanda Benton, a 29-year-old mother of 4 boys who was pregnant with her 5th child, a girl. A warning here. The description of the crimes you're about to hear is graphic and may be disturbing to some viewers.
They beat her in the face so bad they snapped my daughter's neck. They were driving around with her in the trunk of the car, and I pray to God that my daughter was already gone before they set her afire.
The unspeakable crime sent shockwaves throughout the entire Detroit area. It's a disturbing case, and the hearing is filled with tension. When it concludes, a relative of Jeremy Lee exchanges words with a member of Amanda Benton's family outside the courthouse, and tensions boil over.
Come on.
Oh, what, you're going to go too, dude? You bad? What?
The man who stepped in and started swinging is Benton's uncle. But police quickly arrived to separate the men and prevent things from escalating.
Kill him.
Leaving several women, including Benton's family member and Jeremy Lee's mother, to argue over who's responsible for the fracas.
You punched him in the face.
take the two men into custody, and things eventually settle. But for Amanda Benton's mother, the tragic loss of her daughter and unborn granddaughter is still too much to bear.
The Lord says to forgive. I'm sorry. A brutal murder like that, killing a little innocent baby like that, I would, to my dying day, will never forgive.
At separate trials, Jacob Barnes is convicted and sentenced to life without parole. Jeremy Lee receives a sentence of 25 to 60 years after pleading guilty to a reduced charge of second-degree murder.
I'll never get to see my son be married and have a family. You not only robbed him and us of that, you also robbed yourself.
Next, we go to Kent County Circuit Court in Grand Rapids, Michigan, where 23-year-old Vicente Rodriguez Ortiz is convicted of first and second-degree murder in the deaths of Andrew Hawkins and Lori Lunderberg. The two crimes were unrelated.
Lori Lunderberg's death has left me incapable of focusing on daily tasks.
But before he learns his fate, he must listen to family members deliver victim impact statements to the court.
I'll never get to see my son be married and have a family.
This is Javaika Hawkins, mother of 17-year-old Andre Hawkins, who was in high school when he was gunned down by Rodriguez Ortiz.
And I couldn't see him walk across the stage and get his high school diploma. It was his senior year and life was going good for us. He was in love and he had his friends and his life was full. And you not only robbed him and us of that, you also robbed yourself.
Rodriguez Ortiz appears slightly moved by what Javaika has to say, but the grieving mother is not finished.
In order to get through this process, I had to forgive you, and I forgive you from the bottom of my heart. I pray for you because as a mother, you're a child to me, and in my heart, I have no anger or bitterness towards you. As a mom, I just want to hug you because I know that there's something that's not connected that made you feel so angry toward a person that you didn't know.
It turns out forgiveness is what really gets through to him.
I just want to say I'm sorry, Miss Hawkins.
Joining us now is the mother of Andre Hawkins, Miss Javaika Hawkins. Thank you so much for taking the time. We appreciate it. That is really hard to watch. How difficult was it for you to be standing in court that close to him?
I think I just looked at him as a kid, so I didn't feel scared or threatened or angry or anything.
When you walked in the courtroom that day, did you know you were going to forgive him?
I had forgiven him basically from day one. I just decided that I was going to use all my energy to remember my son. You know, I see people in court all the time just seem like they're so happy and so relieved that this person is going to die in prison. But for me, it just was not the case. And I forgive you from the bottom of my heart. I pray for you because as a mother, you're a child to me. When I got up there, I had spent all that time writing this statement, and I literally did not read any of it off the paper. I just spoke from my heart.
Do you think your son would support the decision you made here to forgive?
I don't know. He always told me I was too soft-hearted and nice. But I think that him looking down, he is proud of me. He was in love and he had his friends and his life was full. And, you know, I represented my love for him. So I'm sure he's okay with it.
Well, your son sounds like he was a terrific young man, and you are truly an inspiration to many. Thank you so much for taking the time to come on the program. We really appreciate it.
Well, thank you for asking me.
I'm Dan Abrams. Thanks for watching.